And just when we thought the era of COVID whiplash for schools was over, we've got brand new guidance from the Texas Education Agency to tell you about tonight. Within the last 2 hours, the TEA says that schools won't have to inform parents of positive cases this year. They also won't have to contact trace. And if a school does contact trace, parents can still choose to send their kid to school if they have been in close contact with someone who tested positive. Of course, all of this comes as the Delta variant continues to drive new outbreaks among the unvaccinated. And breaking in just the last hour, Dallas County has topped 1,000 cases in a single day. That is the first time we have seen that since February. Let's take a look at this graph here. There are now close to 2,000 people hospitalized in North Texas with COVID-19. That is right at the same level, actually just above the level where we were for our peak last summer. And we're not seeing any signs of hospitalizations turning around at this point. But even with all of the data clearly saying that we are in the midst of another wave right now, COVID safety measures are being relaxed in our schools. So let's get to Kevin Reese live right now with some additional things to know from that new TEA guidance. Kevin?
Yeah, you talked about that TEA guidance, things that students and maybe teachers will not like, but something they might like, at least we think so, that if a teacher is required to teach quarantined students in virtual learning, that same teacher, according to the TEA, can't be required to teach in-person classes at the very same time. A different teacher or a substitute would have to be hired to do that. The teacher can't do both of those. As for masks, we know that students and staff can't be required to wear them, but some districts like Dallas ISD are doing everything they can to make the return to school as safe as they possibly can.
I highly recommend getting this vaccine. It really will save our lives.
That testimonial from Dallas pediatrician Kate Jarrett alongside her vaccinated daughters Kate and Beth, part of a new push by the State Department of Health Services. Starting a promotional campaign this weekend in Spanish and in English, along with a Saturday and Sunday event at this Walmart at 200 Short Boulevard in Southern Dallas. Free food and family games noon to 4 to encourage people to get the COVID vaccine.
We really need to try to keep our community and keep our family and friends safe.
It's a personal choice, discuss it as a family, but it most definitely, each shot in every arm that we can get, it will help us get closer to that herd immunity so we can get through this pandemic.
DISD also announcing that it will offer rapid COVID testing at every campus every day this year. Results in 15 minutes for both staff and for students under 18 whose parents have given written permission.
It is absolutely of no charge. So it's another layering strategy to keep the environment as safe as possible during the pandemic.
DISD is not offering virtual learning this year other than on one hybrid campus and cannot require students wear masks, but is recommending them and providing them for the students and staff who want to. So, as students begin their return to classrooms, educators and medical experts doing as much COVID educating as they can now.
And you're doing this to protect yourself and your family and your friends.
And if you would like to find that permission slip, if you are in DISD, you can find a link to that permission slip in my story at WFAA.com. I'm Kevin Reese in Dallas.
All right, good info there, Kevin. Thank you for that. Long before the Delta variant surge, Denton ISD had already planned to offer limited virtual learning, but more students are signed up than the district has slots for. Back in April, about 220 students enrolled in the virtual program. Now, with cases rising once again, though, more families are trying to get in on that and register. More than 100 students are currently on the wait list, and that is expected to grow.